It's a massive opportunity for Australian fighters. Back in the 80s, the Australian government pretty much outlawed boxing as like a blood sport. So, we really didn't get much airtime on the major networks. But as times have sort of developed, we're seeing boxing get a complete resurgence. Now that the sort of power's back in the viewer's hand and they can sort of watch what they like when they like, as opposed to just having channel 7, 9 and 10, now they've got the internet. So now we're seeing that, like we always knew, the sport that people wanted to watch was always boxing. Hence the reason why it's the only sport that can charge $50 for a night worth of viewing. No other sport can do that. So it's proved time and time again. However, the access wasn't there. So to take where it's at now and just level it up by now partnering up with guys like, with Probellum, it's really just something that's not only just a great thing for our sport, but also a great thing for them, because Australia is a very unique continent. You don't see anywhere else in the world someone like Tszyu, who's very early in his career, be able to fill up stadiums. Where do you see that anywhere else in the world? They need to have multiple world titles, etc. Even if you're a world champion in America, you're lucky to headline it. Whereas Tszyu basically proved that, you could fill stadiums. Jeff Horn proved the same. It's a continent where we are producing numbers, and being such a small continent, it is quite impressive to be able to do these types of things. So I think the market is there. It's just about tapping into it the right way, and with the help of these guys and bringing their clientele, their networks and resources and their capital to the table, I truly believe it's definitely going to level it up. And as we've sort of seen the upward trajectory over the last couple of years in boxing, I think it's just going to propel it to another level. I mean, that's a perfect fight. I love it stylistically because, he's got such a similar style to Castano. So that, to me, tells me, they are looking at, taking that ultimate leap and fighting for the world title and eventually trying to bring either him over here or, take it to either somewhere in America where he's been fighting lately. I do think Tim beats him. I did read a lot of the comments on your guys' page on Australian Boxing Central, and a lot of guys were saying, Tszyu, he's a real, world-class fighter and yada, yada, yada. But, I don't think they're giving Tim enough credit. Although he's fought, predominantly Australian fighters, he's fought the best ones out there. Australian fighters that have proven time and time again that those guys that he's beaten, that have gone overseas and beaten high-level guys and all competed with them at a very close level. So, I think it's a perfect fight for him stylistically. Tszyu sort of is a pressure type fighter. Although his pressure's not crazy, he comes forward the whole night. He has a sort of wide style, sort of swinging haymakers and stuff. I think Tim's going to be a little bit too calculated, a little bit too measured, and going to pick him off and probably stop him late. I think he's not very hard to hit, Tszyu. I think he's there to be hit all night, really. But like I said, stylistically, the perfect fight to put him in good stead to take the Brian Castano fight. Well, Kambosos, to me, mate, is as real as they get, especially in this country. I'm yet to see anyone, in recent years to have his mentality, his commitment, his dedication, and his consistency. This is a kid that went through the amateurs, fought all the way through, and another one like Tszyu in the pros, never avoided anyone. Fought the Ogilvies, fought the Barlas, again, multiple time Australian champions in the pro and amateurs, these guys, and, beat them relatively comfortably, and never shied away from a challenge, always took the hardest fights and always passed the test. And now we've seen him in recent years go overseas and dominate over there, fought a ton of good guys now, and he's got the momentum. So if anyone can do it, it's him. Now, I understand that he's up against, probably one of the best pound-for-pound fighters we've seen, again, in recent times. A guy that's just sort of dethroned Lomachenko, someone that was known as basically, a god in boxing, a style we've never seen before, producing things and doing things that no one in boxing has seen. So this is the man that beat the man. So it is, a massive ask, but as they say, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best, and Kambosos is leaving no stone unturned, so full credit to him, and I believe in him and myself, my team, and I'd like to think the whole of Australia are behind him.
Jake Ellis, thanks so much for joining us at Australian Boxing Central today, mate. It's been a pleasure to have you. All the best for the future. It's a very exciting one. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.